verifying DNA report to be sure. The scattered locations of their remains were explained as the work of wild animals, a suggestion that only added to Cara's pain and horror. Aaron and Dylan had probably gone off trail and gotten lost, Cara was told. Or maybe Aaron had injured himself on the walk and couldn't make it back, while Dylan had stayed with him. There was only conjecture, without any definitive evidence. In Alaska, where 2,000 people a year disappear in the beautiful but vast and foreboding wilderness, few of the missing make the news. Cara fell into a rabbit hole of unanswered questions and a well of guilt. If she had gone with them, could she have prevented them from getting lost, or helped Aaron if he was injured? Could she have found them sooner when there was still a chance to save them? Should she have forbidden Aaron to take Dylan into the cell signal devoid wilderness? Aaron's blue dust-covered SUV, still splattered with the deaths of hundreds of insects, was found abandoned on a seldom-used gravel road, with Aaron's expensive SLR camera gear and his driver's license still in the car. Why would Aaron have left his camera and driver's license behind? This last question made her begin to doubt whether the whole thing was an accident at all. Could there have been foul play involved? At the station, she became obsessed with cases involving body parts and missing persons, including a slew of extremities washing up on the shores of the Pacific Northwest and Canada, and a couple that washed up near Anchorage. The mundane explanations revolved around the buoyancy of modern-day sneakers detaching from decomposed corpses of suicide and drowning victims, not the work of a maniacal serial killer. Still, Cara looked for possible connections to what might have happened to her family and began poking her nose into investigations that were not assigned to her. Colleagues began to avoid her. Cara felt herself breaking apart into irreparable pieces, like the remains of her loved ones. Her developing anxiety manifested in claustrophobia and insomnia, and she was put on meds. Even now, she continued to be haunted by disturbing nightmares. After a mandated visit to the psychologist, she was deemed unstable and placed on disability. Now, watching Dylan's half-sized coffin being lifted in staccato hoists, Cara had to wonder if she was just heading down another path to Crazy Town. But she had reason, she told herself. It had taken 2 months to process, but Cara was finally able to get a court order to exhume the bodies. No autopsies had been conducted, since there had been no suspected foul play, but now she wanted a full examination. She knew it would be hard to determine a cause of death from what was left of them, but she also knew that they could still discover evidence of blunt force trauma or bullet holes, or make the distinction between animal teeth marks and cuts by sharp metallic objects. What had led her to commit this drastic act of exhuming the bodies of her own husband and son? Another case of dismemberment that Cara had investigated on no one's authority but her own. The case had led her to the remote city of Point Metier, an odd town reached via a claustrophobic tunnel, where all of its 205 full-time residents lived in a single monolithic high-rise condo. In the end, Cara solved the case, a murder that was completely unconnected to the deaths of her loved ones. Or was it? Cara had walked away with a clue. It was on the cell phone of a deceased gang member she had never met before, named Michael Levansky. A photo of Aaron, Dylan, and Cara herself on the day they had left home for the Talkeetna wilderness. Why Michael Levansky had this photo of her family was a tormenting mystery. In the cemetery, a sudden gust of wind picked up, coiling around Cara like a chilling, bodiless snake, and making her shiver involuntarily. Was it a protest from the dead? Maybe she would never be able to get the answers she had been looking for. But she also knew that if she didn't try, she could never put the past behind her to rejoin the land of the living. Cara was startled.